Hi guys, so this is your review for sequences and series. So first question here, what is the difference between an arithmetic and a geometric sequence? An arithmetic sequence, remember, is when you add to go from one term to the next, and a geometric sequence is when you multiply to go from one term to the next. The number that you are adding, remember, is called D, the common difference. The number you are multiplying is called R, the common ratio. B, what is the difference between a sequence and a series? A sequence is just a list of numbers that follow a pattern. Whereas a series is talking about the sum of a sequence. Keyword here being a sum. So in this box here are your four formulas that are used. So for arithmetic, we have this first one is called your explicit formula for your sequence. And then SN, this is your series or your sum formula. Same thing for geometric. You have your explicit formula. Remember that explicit formulas find you any term you want at any time. And then we have our series or our sum formulas. So question 1, identify the common difference of the arithmetic sequence and then find the next 4 terms. So they're already telling us it's arithmetic, which means we are going to be adding as we go from one term to the next. And the common difference is what you are adding. So how do I go from 11 to 15 and then 15 to 19? Your common difference should be 4. So then find the next 4 terms. So after 19, we're going to start continuing to add 4. So you should get 23. Add 4 again. You should get 27. Add 4 again. You should get 31. And then add 4 again. You should get 35. So there are the next 4 terms. Question 2. Find the 20th term of the arithmetic sequence in which A1 equals 3 and D equals 5. So this is arithmetics. We're using one of these 2 formulas. The SN is talking about a series or a sum. That is not what we're looking for. So we're going to go with the explicit formula, the first one. So we have AN equals A1 plus N minus 1 times D. We're looking for the 20th term, so that is your N value. A1 is the first term. They told us it's 3. Again, N is 20. And then D is 5. If I were you, I would plug this straight into my calculator. So we have 3 plus 20 minus 1 times 5. And you should get 98. There is your 20th term. Question 3. Given the arithmetic sequence 3, 7, 11, 15, 19, for which value of n will a sub n equal 59? So going back to our arithmetic formulas, again, it makes no mention of the word sum. So we're going back to that first one, the explicit formula. So an equals a1 plus n minus 1 times d. I know an equals 59. A1 is the first term, that's the 3, plus we're looking for the value of n, so that's what we're going to solve for, times, if we look at the sequence, they're going up by 4, so that is your d value. So solving for n, I'm going to distribute. So we have n times 4 is 4n, negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. Combine like terms here. So we have 59 equals 4n minus 1, positive 3 and negative 4. Add the 1 over. So 60 equals 4n. Divide by 4. So you should get that n is equal to 15. Question 4, write the explicit rule for the nth term of the sequence. So looking at the numbers, the pattern, they are adding 5 each one. So because they're adding, it makes this arithmetic. They're saying it's explicit, so the formula from the first page for the arithmetic explicit is an equals a1 plus n minus 1 times d. Now, if you are writing the rule for the nth term, it means you are leaving the n's in the formula. So an equals a1 is negative 7 plus, again, we're leaving the n's there, so just n minus 1 times d. D is that 5 that you're adding over and over again. And then you can leave it like that. It does not say you have to simplify the formula, so I would leave it at that. Question 5. Find the sum for the arithmetic series using the series formula. So they're saying it's arithmetic. They're saying it's a series, a sum, so we're using that second formula. So we have Sn equals n times a1 plus an, all divided by 2. N is how many things we are adding together. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 numbers that we're adding together. So n is 10. A1 is 1. An, that is the term in that last spot, the 10th spot. So that would be the 19 for this, divided by 2. I would plug that into my calculator if I were you. And I would use the fraction button. Alpha, y equals, choice 1. We have 10 times 1 plus 19, all divided by 2. And you should get 100. Question 6. Identify the common ratio of the following geometric sequence, then find the next 2 terms. So geometric means, again, that you are multiplying something. But if you remember the lesson from last week on geometric sequences, to find the common ratio, you can take a term. So let's take the 189 and divide it by the term right before that. so the 567. So we have 189 divided by 567. Math, enter, enter, and we get 1/3. So now find the next two terms. So we're going to continue the pattern, multiplying by 1/3. So 63 times 1/3 would be 21. Multiply by 1/3 again. 21 times 1/3 is 7. So there are my next two terms. Question 7. Find the fifth term of the geometric sequence in which A1 equals 20 and R equals 2. So going back, it's geometric, and they're not asking us for a sum. So we're not going to use the series formula. We're going to use the first one, the explicit formula. So we have our explicit formula. AN equals A1 times R to the n minus 1. And again, is the term that you're looking for. So in this case, 5. A1, the first term, they're telling us it's 20, times R, they're saying is 2. And again, n is 5. And if I were you, I would plug this straight into my calculator. So we have 20 times 2 to the 5 minus 1. And you should get 320 for your fifth term. Question 8. Write an equation for the nth term of the geometric sequence. Again, like the last one, they are not asking us for a sum or a series. So you're going to use the same formula, the explicit formula. And like the question we did before for the arithmetic, you're just writing the equation for the nth term. So that means n's are staying. So AN equals, A1 is -10, times R. If you need to, remember the little trick. R equals, take the second term divided by the first term, and you should get -1/2 or -0.5. Ends again stay. So either one of these formulas work, but plug in the numbers and then leave it alone. Do not try to simplify anything. Question 9. Find the sum of the geometric series for which A1 equals 7, N equals 4, and R equals 3. So now, going back to your formulas, they said it's geometric, and they said the word series. So now we are going to use the series formula. So Sn equals A1 minus A1 times R to the n, all over 1 minus R. So plugging in, n is 4, A1 is 7, R is 3. I would plug this all straight into my calculator again. When you go to do these, I highly recommend, when I taught the geometric series formula last week, I suggested you do alpha, y equals, choice 1. I think you are less likely to make a mistake this way. This app that I'm using for this calculator, you can download to your Chromebooks. It's on Google Classroom under the topic Distance Learning. So we have 7 minus 7 times 3 to the 4th all over 1 minus 3. You should get 280. If you don't have access to this app for whatever reason, you don't have your Chromebook, you don't have an 84 at home, the other option is to plug the entire numerator into a big parenthesis like I have here, and then divide it by the entire denominator in one big parenthesis. That would get you the right answer also. So the final answer, 280. Question 10. Find the next 3 terms of the sequence in which A8 equals 12 and AN equals 3 times AN minus 1. Remember, this means the previous term plus 5. So we're finding the next 3. We have A8. So the next one after that would be A9. It's going to equal 3 times your previous term. If I'm looking for A9, the previous term would be A8, which is the 12, and then plus 5. So you can type this into your calculator. You should get 41. Then we are going to find A10. Same formula, 3 times the previous term. So the previous term is now the 41 we just found, plus 5. Again, plug it in to your calculator. You should get 128. And then the next one would be A11. So again, 3 times the previous term, which is now 128, plus 5. You should get 389. So there are your next 3 terms, 41, 128, and then 389. So I hope this helped. If you have any questions at all, please send me an email or a message on Google Classroom, and I'll get back to you and I'll help you out. Don't just sit there and not understand what's going on. So again, please send me questions.